let's do that. Okay, so tutorial time. So welcome to the Tron Evolution 80% New Game Plus current route tutorial. Some of these skips may be outdated. If they are, I'm gonna link some of those in the description or put them in a playlist or something, whatever. First of all, you wanna enable New Game Plus. There's a guide for that on speedrun.com. I'll link that, and you can change your color if you want, but that's about it. And play on keyboard, please. Controller is garbage. So we want to start a new game, and timing starts as soon as we hit this, which is now. Obviously, spamming left click for skipping cutscenes, just mash that shit.
These rogue programs are cause for concern. Their timing is suspect.
Actually, no.
Mission failed. We'll get 'em next time.
Shouldn't have reset that, but I want to have no board on here. Do I have that in there? Nope. Let me just add a window capture. No board. So you can see my epic keyboard inputs. I should use that doing runs actually. That's pretty lit. Let me just put that there. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, tutorial time, boys. Where's my splits? There it is. Alright, another one. I might cut that out, I don't know. I don't like cutting. Might be better to do the tutorial and speak over it later. Nah, I want to have the epic keyboard clacking, dude. Plus I don't want to like do the tutorial and then like pause. And, I don't know. You can think about what to say, please. I always think about what to say. Okay. Most of it is pretty basic. You just take a straight line here and not get blocked by people. This is the optimal route. And then another cutscene to skip. Oh wait, there isn't even a cutscene. Here I hold W and A because that's the direction I need to run in. And one thing I should probably talk about is jump punching, which is the fastest form of movement. Where you just... Let me just explain that here, I guess. What you do is obviously hold shift to sprint. And then in the air you can, if you let go of sprint, you can punch with a right click. What that also does is it'll let you like regain momentum. Same with throwing this, you can not regain momentum but regain control. Because usually when you jump you can't control anymore. So you have to like throw a disco punch. That's pretty important in some later parts. So most of these gaps you just want to jump over. Jumping over here skips a text box. Then you want to go on the left side here, which also skips a text box. Because if you go too far on the right there, the text box will trigger. You want to run up here and grab this ledge. Keep staying on the left until here. That also skips text boxes. And this one we can't skip. So we just, once the text box is done, you can press space 2 and make it go away. On this wall, and there's a slow-mo. So you want to avoid these slow-mo triggers. So you want to just not jump, but run down and land like round about where the black line is, a little lower, I guess. So round about here, and that will not trigger the slow-mo, just like that. Land here. Obviously do jump punches all the time to redirect your movement, and here you can skip some slow-mos and only one wall run. So you only start doing wall runs if you hold shift next to a wall. So what you can do is you can only start holding shift really late, so like this, and that'll let you skip one of those wall runs. Just hit these buttons and jump around. Tutorial is pretty basic. Doesn't really matter when you hit those buttons. Okay, here's a little skip you can do. This is not a lot of time save though, it's only skips going around there. Where you can jump on the railing here. And you want to jump up the wall. Start wall running really high up, like on your highest point of the jump, like here. And then jump off as late as possible on the high point of your wall run, and then punch over there. So basically like this. And then land on the corner here, and that should work. Yeah, I just want some competition, that actually is. Now, but also because 2 people have already bought the game now, so might as well. One little thing I should talk about there, I forgot. There's these dots on the wall. If you jump off like at the end of the last dot, you will skip a little animation down there, which is you will grab this vault thing immediately without rolling first or something. And here you don't have to land on that, but you can just punch and land down here, and that'll trigger the fight. Tron is currently $5 only. Just kill those guys. You don't want to waste some energy here. These are mostly killable with just normal left click attacks. Also, this is the way I do this fight. It's kind of hard to optimize this. This is just my way of doing it. I kind of use the benches to kill some of them quicker. Also just realized my OBS is not showing properly. Let me fix that. Okay. And on this fight, the timing doesn't matter, so I just kill them all with one bomb disc at the end. Once the last one's jumped down. I'll just probably talk about special attacks. There's a few special attacks. I guess I can talk about that in the early access fights. Also, here's a cutscene to skip in a second. Right after this. So you'll always see me spamming left click. Okay, here, there's the little sound. Just do the timing that I do for mashing left click. There's a little pitch going up. Right near the end of that you want to start mashing, so that you have optimal timing for this. And just do what the tutorial tells you to, which is doing combos, then killing some enemies, and blah blah blah. Just remember what to do on this fight. Also, most of the time I will do a jump and then a mid-air special attack. Because that is pretty fast, because most of the other special attacks have like slow motions to them and stuff, and those are usually slow. But oftentimes just do this, and most of the time with bomb disc. Guess I'm gonna talk about combat in a bit. Then you want to block him. On this one, positioning is a little important. I messed up there. You want to be like medium distance from him. That didn't work, because after the first throw he can laugh, and after the second throw he can point at you, and it's all distance based. You basically want to be really far away from him, and then he won't taunt you, hopefully. Alright, and the last one. On these guys you have to wait a bit until they actually have a hitbox, like that. Okay, and also talk about the discs, I guess. That's not the split yet, oops. There's one more phase coming up. We just use charge up shots, like that. You don't even have to hit him, just throw them somewhere. And there we go. So, combat. First of all, the 4 discs. I should talk about that. We have 4 discs. The heavy disc, which is on 1, the bomb disc, which is on 2, the stasis disc, which is on 3, and the corruption disc, which is on 4. So, first of all, corruption disc. This is the most important one, because this passively refills your energy, as you can see in the top left. The white energy bar slowly goes up, and that's really important because we need energy to fight. So every time you're not in a fight, you want to just equip the corruption disc here. Now, heavy disc is great because it has a really long range. Like, as you can see, when I throw this, it goes like all the way back there, but like a bomb disc doesn't go nearly that far. And stasis disc we just need for some specific enemies that like stuns enemies and stuff. But most of the fights we'll do with bomb disc, because that's that obviously does an explosion, so that's pretty good and kills a lot of enemies. Now there's a text box trigger there. We want to jump around that, so we'll just go over here, and also don't go there because text box trigger is still there. So we just jump over here, and we skip that text box. And then this button we can hit from far away by doing a kind of precise, it's not that precise, just want to basically stand round about here and look round about at the button, and then just jump and throw your heavy disc. What that'll do, okay, I messed it up. I guess you'll have to look a little bit left of the button. Like you can see where my head is. It's a little bit left. And that should hit it from here, yeah. And just hit that button. And since you still move in cutscenes, you most of the time want to like try to jump into them. So you still move a little bit in the cutscene, like right here, I jump here. That'll move me a little bit forwards during the cutscene. So this fight we don't have to do, we can just jump on this on like a 45-degree angle and completely ignore this room. A lot of enemies we don't actually have to kill. We can just go around. Ah, hit that. Alright. There's a tiny little skip in this room, which you'll have to use a special attack for. Normally you'd have to like run off the walls there and jump on this platform, but what you can also do is you can try to jump on it, and when you're near the edge just throw a special attack like that and it'll get you up. Then there's button glitching, which is if you activate buttons you can skip the animation for activating them in multiple ways. The one we're going to do here is by just grappling towards enemies, which you do by holding shift and pressing right click. So we'll just activate the button and grapple towards those enemies, and we skip the button activation animation. And the same thing here. Just look at my inputs and you'll see what I do. There's also another button glitch which is gonna come up later. I'm gonna explain that also, I guess, when it comes up. So disk stations, these you don't really need to use. Be careful though, you activate them with space. So if I'm like here and press space to jump, I can accidentally activate it. So don't hit those. Yeah. They refill your energy though, so if you ever need energy, just hit those. Hi Pack, we're kind of doing a tutorial right here for no reason whatsoever. So that's why I'm kind of slow. For this fight, what I do is I vault over and then I only hold D, because that puts me like on the left here and I can instantly throw bomb discs at these guys. Heavy disc at that one, and we're good. Flynn. When I kill this guy, I just do it with a jumping special attack. And here comes a bunch of stuff skip. This will be a little difficult, I guess. So what you do is you just come over here, you wall run on this, jump off, wall run here, throw a disc, and land up here. And I'm going to show the fastest setup first, I guess. This is fairly consistent. You want to run on that wall, and then, since the ceiling is not really existent in this room, jump over this wall. And then move your camera down and throw a disc with left click. I'll just show you what that looks like. Just like that. And what that does is it'll deload all the rooms, so you fall through the ceiling here, and then it'll reload the rooms. Camera is important when doing that, so you have to look down and then look back up. Guess I can try that again if the checkpoint works. Yeah, it does, okay. There's also something else you can do which is a little safer, I think. Let me just try this. I've only recently seen this. It should be running like here. Nope. So I have to go a little higher. I've never done this one, I only recently saw it. But the fast one is usually fairly consistent. Get over there. One thing that can happen is you can land in the next room, but sometimes the enemies still die, so the fight actually progresses. Okay, I messed that one up. You can pause buffer it though, so this one might be the safe variant. Let me try that again. We just wall run as high as possible here. Jump off. Or not. Okay, this doesn't really seem too consistent. Just do the normal one, I guess. Yeah, that was bad. Sadly, these enemies keep throwing discs at you. So just do the normal setup like this. It is pretty consistent, just do that. And get over there. Also, that skip lets us keep the text box down there, which is going to stay there for quite a while, hopefully. So once again, since this is a group of enemies, we just throw a bomb disc at them. It's kind of just style if you want to do a jumping special attack like I do, or if you want to do like a shift special attack, since that does like an aerial attack. Not aerial, but in an area around you. Okay, these are katana guys, is what I call them. They have this weird thing on their back, like this, you see? These are quite annoying because when they throw discs, they almost always hit you. And these can only be killed with a heavy disc special attack. So you have to kill them like this. This is one guy, this one doesn't matter. Always look out for those in fights. And once again, always switch to corruption disc. Really important. And then we also skip this room. Just ignore all the enemies. And get up on here. And since the exit is up there, we can jump on this railing. Wall one up here and jump off. Just like that. Once again, oftentimes you'll accidentally activate those with space. Okay. With good timing you can get there quickly. This skip is kind of finicky sometimes. We just ignore the whole room and we use those two walls to wall run up there. So you want to start wall running here, a little next to this like round corner here. Like round about here we want to start wall running. So we start, we jump off, jump straight. Yeah, once again there's two ways to jump off wall runs, which I guess I can show. You can either jump off straight or off to the side. So for example, you can see that when I'm like only pressing space or when I'm pressing A and space like here. So the first one I want to do off to the side and the second one I want to do straight. Just like that. We'll one up here and this one's done. Now you can try to hit this guy in the cutscene, but I hit the wrong guy. Just doing a shift F, but it's quite inconsistent and doesn't save time anyways really. Okay, these guys decided to jump up, which is bad. They can either stay down or jump up. Okay, these are shield guys. They can only be killed with a bomb disc. What you do is you just throw one at them. Don't even have to aim, it kills them anyway in this fight. As soon as the cutscene ends, you just jump and throw one, and they die. And once again, always equip corruption disc. Here you can wall run and then jump off to the right around this corner. Just a little bit faster there. I missed that. Yeah, you don't have to jump up here, you can, on the second one, instantly go to the left. And that's a tiny bit faster. Can I get over? Thanks. Yeah, some of these vaults tables are kind of finicky. Go those with the bomb disc. And here comes the first light cycle section. This one is pretty basic. Also, only on this one does corruption disc still recharge energy. On all the other ones, the disc you have doesn't matter. So the setup for this one is you just stay on the left edge for the first part here. Then you stay in the middle. Then at the end you stay on the right. That's how basic this first one is. Should only take about a minute, the other ones are much more tricky. And now we go to the right. And then we can stay here. There we go. And that's chapter 1. Once again, skip the cutscene. And just follow a pretty basic path here. What's bad about this is there's like a hidden disk station there you can't really see. So sometimes you will try to jump and it'll just activate that one. So be careful about that. Like jump earlier or something. Okay, here comes bridge skip. You want to get up to that lamp. You can either do that from this side, which is faster, or you can, if you want to go safe, like go behind this statue and go from here. And then you want to stand like near the back of this lamp, like on this side of the lamp. And your head should be in the, like you want to look about in the direction of those, like that group of lamps back there. Then just jump off and throw a disc. I missed it there. Sadly, no, that was bad. It's quite annoying when the enemies group down there. You can land against, like this thing has a huge hitbox, so don't land against that. Yeah, your head should be roundabout on sync with that lamp. Roundabout there. And then stay on the left side of this bridge, because otherwise you'll hit a trigger and the bridge will disappear. Just stay on the left, and you can leave. Now here's a 1-frame jump, which isn't actually 1 frame. Let me do that again. So this is not necessary, you can go for this, it doesn't really matter. If you hit space like on the last frame, if you vault animation like that, you can make it all the way up. Otherwise you'll just get up here and have to do one extra jump here. Alright, here comes the tank. Oh yeah, one thing I should probably talk about regarding the tank. Usually these tanks are insanely loud and they are not affected by your in-game volume settings. So what I did to make these kind of alright sound-wise is for my normal in-game volume settings, I just like doubled or tripled those. So everything was really loud, and then I just lowered the like game volume in the Windows mixer. So that'll lower the tank sound. That's only like controllable through the Windows settings. So just like up all your volume and lower it in Windows, and then the tanks should be alright. Yeah, shout out to Datshocks for showing me that. These tanks just throw a bomb disc at them and they're dead. Then get up to this button. And here I'm going to explain jumping button glitches, which is basically the second version of button glitch that we use. It works by since you activate buttons with space, as you can see, you can jump onto them in a specific angle and then just mash space and hopefully it'll skip the cutscene. That was bad. Oh, I didn't get it there. Wait, let me restart so I can show that. Oh, it spawns me back up here then. Alright, so let's show that again. It's not that difficult, but it is very useful in some parts. Especially since you don't have enemies here that you can just grapple to. There we go, that's the one. And now that'll activate. You don't have to do it on this one, I'll just do it for showing purposes. There we go. And get to where the tank spawns. Now, tanks always have the heavy disk equipped, because with all the other discs, these are slower. As you can see, like this is heavy disk speed, this is bomb disk. Heavy disk is much faster. Just use heavy disk. Now, tanks are 2 hits if you hit them normally with left click, but with a special attack they are 1 hit. So if a tank is like right in front of you, like this one, you might want to use a special special attack. Since these white things here, they fill up your energy anyways, so might as well use some. Also hit those buttons for the doors to open. Like these two tanks, they're right in front of me, so I just throw a special attack at them. How do you special attack? Oh yeah, with F. That's mentioned the bindings though, and if you play like a bit casual, that's explained to you anyways. Here's a cutscene skip. You see, wait, let me aim at it. You see that little part at the edge there where like the dark part suddenly turns light. That's where the invisible wall ends, so you just want to drive down here and that skips a cutscene. Just like that. And then just kill like a bunch of tanks so they're not in your way and so they don't damage you too much. You want to have a lot of energy coming out of this though. Like that. Also be careful that you control your tanks with the mouse, so when you want to hit something off to the side, you want to mostly like flick over. You just kill all of these enemies. Since that one is far away, I use a heavy disc. And obviously switch back to the corruption disc. How fast you go here doesn't really matter because this laser is on a bad cycle anyway. I hope, yeah. This still works. You only have to look out for that laser on the first jump there. Like the jump you saw me right there on the vault. Afterwards you don't even hit it, even if it's on. So just keep going. Wait for this laser to disappear if it's still on and get in. Now this room used to be really long, but the laser at the end here, this big laser, doesn't really exist, so we can just go through it. It's really easy. You want to get to that hang thing. You can either do like a swaggy jump by doing this, or since that is kind of difficult, you can also just go on the left here and then jump over. And what you want to do here is just jump upwards and mash F. Like that. And that'll get you in. Also don't sprint in this tube because there's like invisible walls everywhere. So you'll just like wall run up all of these if you sprint. So just walk through, and there you go. Okay, here comes a fight with the grenade guy. There's going to be a few more of those in the game. How you defeat those is you just throw a stasis disc at those. That's a disc at 3, or slow-mo disc as I call it. And then you do a, I'm just going to show it. You just stun them like this. Then you want to take the heavy disc, stand close to them, and just do a shift F. And that oftentimes kills them in one hit. Sometimes it takes like 2, depends. And that was chapter 2. Now here comes Aja. This has a lot of fights and a lot of just parkouring around, which is basically all the game, but it's a lot of it in this. Once again, just jump punching to go faster. And this is fairly basic. Aja 1 is not that great. It's just a lot of really basic, boring parkouring, but Aja 2 is basically only skips, so that's gonna be fun. Here I like to let go of shift for a second because the camera is like this or something, or really bad. So if you hold shift, you will most likely just wall run on some shit here, and it's quite bad like that. If you're close to a wall that you definitely don't want to wall run on, don't hold shift. It's gonna ruin your day. It's worth it just going for like the 1 second of walking there in order to not die. Oh yeah, wait, oops. I was looking somewhere else there. There's 2 rappels here, I forgot. Once again, just a lot of jump punching in between while doing all the parkouring. And also, I guess I can mention this, since most of the cutscenes in this game are pre-rendered, and I changed my color via the game files, I'm still the default color blue in the cutscenes, but once gameplay comes back, I'm pink again. Okay, here's something you can do, though this is not really needed. I guess I'm going to show the... You can either go the normal way, which is running up there and then jumping off onto the platform, but you can also run up the wall here, throw a disc and land on here. That's a little faster, but it's sometimes a bit tricky. And then grapple over there. Try not to hit like moving things like this generally. They'll damage you and generally be bad. Okay, I'm on a bad cycle here because I waited a bit. Just grapple this as soon as possible. Right now, upcoming here we have one of the first big skips in Asia. Also, try to take care of this guy. Generally, beware of enemies that are like near parkour parts, because they really like to throw discs at you and in the air, and that'll make you fall down. So we can skip this fight in there by jumping on this window frame, and then on the invisible ledge here ends on this corner, so we want to, yeah, like that. Oops. So what we want to do is jump around the corner and start a wall run. That's kind of tricky. So around about here you just want to jump around the corner and wall run, and then jump off forwards and land near the end of the wall, because there's another invisible ledge like right here. You'll have to throw it, wait. You'll have to throw a disc in the air, and then hold right to still land on this, since this is pretty, like, it doesn't reach back that far. And from here you can just not mess up like that. Just jump over to the platform. So we can just do this again. Also, don't hold shift here, because otherwise you will wall run and not land back on the ledge. There we go, land on here. And just get over, like that. And continue. Now these lasers, I can only advise you to kind of recognize the pattern, because otherwise they will mess you over. And just try not to die to them. Wait if necessary. Waiting is most of the time better than just YOLOing in, because you will probably die. The lasers in this are brutal. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to kill enemies, just like throw some discs at them so they get stunned and don't instantly attack you. Anyway, this fight we have to do, sadly. Once again, jumping into cutscenes. And you see some shield guys there, so equip bomb disc. Yeah. Some of the fights are pretty weird. You can just either try to optimize them yourself or follow what I do. And now just some katana guys spawn that you'll have to throw a heavy disc at. You hear unbeatable wacky by YOLOing the lasers? Nah, I always YOLO them. So, no way to beat me in that. Alright, this set of lasers can be very brutal though. I can only advise you to not take the vaults here, but wall run all of these, because that is usually way safer, because you can control when you jump off. So don't take the vault here, but wall run instead. It's much safer. Just like that, yeah. Not a single death through lasers, that's good. Okay, this fight is really bad because it can easily softlock. I think what it causes is when you kill the guys in the middle too fast, so just ignore like this group of guys for now and just kill some of the enemies around. Like these guys, or this guy, or these guys. And then just try to do the guys in the middle really late. Also beware these katana guys again. Alright, it didn't softlock. If it softlocks, the door doesn't open. so that was good. Just don't try to go too fast there. Just try to not soft lock it, and you should be good. Alright. Once again, bomb disc. Oh, all of them died, nice. Yeah. For most of the fights you want to try to hit like a guy near the center with a bomb disc, because then the explosion will hit all around him and most of the time kill all the enemies. Here just want to stand in the middle where they spawn and then throw some discs at them. I do that with Shift F with that one. First are normal guys, so I just do heavy disc. The second one are shield guys, so I'm gonna have to do a ground slam is Control F, by the way. Just do a ground slam with the bomb disc on these. And the next one's are normal guys again. And after this one upcoming is another grenade guy. So what I'll try to do is, while I'm killing these, I'll already switch to the stasis disc before the cutscene happens, which is quite tight sometimes. Like that. And I already equipped stasis disc. So once again, throw a stasis disc, run to him, and just heavy disc him. Also do equip the corruption disc here, this is important. Do equip that before this cutscene. Because you're not able to switch discs during this, as you can see, and you still want to regen some energy. There, just turn around and immediately run over there. Just screw Radia. Also, you can't sprint during this, sadly. The sprinting only starts around about this corner, and that's when you can jump punch again. You don't want to run into this fight, but go around. Just wall run on this wall here, and jump over the wall. Like this. And what that'll do is these enemies' AI will just not activate and they'll just stand around here. So just throw a bomb disc at the front guy here and they all die. Hey Barto, welcome to Tutorial Percent. And some more parkouring to the next skip. Alright, here is broken floor skip, because usually in this room you'll have to activate those two buttons you see on the left and right to break the floor and get up, those buttons. But what you can do is get back here, and you see this kind of light part on the pillars, on this one at least. Around about in the middle of that, just wall one up here, wall one once again, throw a disc and try to land on here. It can be difficult if your camera is like that. Optimally, your camera would face the other way. Let me try to get that. It makes it look a bit easier. Nah, not this way. There we go. So this is basically what happens. Wait, no, that was bad. There we go. Just wall one tries and land on this, and then wall one on these side walls and just jump off to the side. And you will hit this trigger. I'll probably put this on YouTube. Just because the Twitch player is pretty bad. And here you can jump right near the right side of these breaking walls and wall one up a bit. And that skips a little bit of like jumping around here. Alright, here you equip the heavy disc, and this is kind of important, you hit this guy. Because usually he throws a disc at you and it'll stun you. So if you throw a disc at him before that, he won't attack you. Alright, and here comes the Aja out of bounds, I guess. This can be a little bit tricky. So what you do is, I'm going to do the fast version here. There's, similar to the skip earlier, there's an invisible ledge right there, which you can just walk on. Once again, do not hold shift, otherwise you will wall run and die. And once again, you want to jump around this corner and start wall running. And then you see like the little corner there where this tower thing and the wall meets. That's where you want to land in. That was not good. Yeah, I didn't jump around the corner fully there. So let's do that one again. And bad thing about this is you start quite far back if you mess up. So once again, just land on here, run around, wall run, and then land near this. And then you just want to keep jumping back and forth. Jump pretty late on your wall runs. And one thing I'll do, you just have to copy me, like, keep the wall ones on this wall pretty short. You can kind of see what I'm doing, I guess. Like, can I show this? Where is it? Yeah, right there. The inner wall, like the one you originally jump around the corner and wall run on, keep the wall ones on that pretty short near the end. Like, when you land on it, just immediately jump off. It's kind of a feel thing, I don't know. One little thing, this is the fast ending to this. The thing I did at the end there, by the way, is an extended ground slam. How that works is if you roll off somewhere, you can keep ground slamming and keep rolling like this. And that'll just help me do a wall run there. I'm going to show you the easy ending though, because that's what you probably want to go for. My version doesn't save too much time and is way harder. So let's just do this one. And I can also again show you which wall I mean that you'll have to do short wall runs on. I mean this wall right here, the one I'm on right now. So just keep them long until you see this little white part on the tower here. This part. And then you just want to keep the wall ones on this wall really short. Okay, it didn't work there. That's something that can happen. That's why you have to keep them short on that one wall. Though I don't know why that didn't quite work for me. Because you wanna... there's... wait for that. Let me think. At the top... I did the wall run, that's bad. At the top... I guess I can just do a little bit of gesture. So you're like in this corner. Or like you have two walls. And you want to land on top of the ceiling of the room. So you'll obviously have to jump off the other wall. But the thing is, the wall one hitbox doesn't actually extend that high. So if you're on the wrong wall and you jump off at the end, like you want to be at a specific height on a specific wall. So the longer you do your wall runs on that specific wall, the more likely you're obviously to be on that wall at the specific height. So that's why you keep them short on the other wall. I probably explained that really poorly. But that's just what I do to get this consistent. Kind of keep these wall runs short. So you land on top here. It's quite hard to explain. And the easy version is just to jump down on this platform. That's the easy ending. As you can see, it's not too much slower. Might actually be faster, I don't know. I like my other ending though. And then you just keep going. That was not intentional. You can skip one wall run here. And here comes right to tank skip, which skips a lot of stuff back there. Just want to wall run up this thing and land on there. Once again, start your wall run like pretty late in your jump, like on the high points. And with a punch you can easily land on here. And you just walk along here, jump onto this pillar. Don't fall off, that's important. And then you want to, in this direction, just jump off. Like that, and punch. And then you will land really close on the road. And get over to there. This ground is solid, no need to worry about jumping over this. And then you wall run on the left part of the wall here, and you have to do a specific amount of wall runs. Let me just see how many. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you jump off, throw a disc, and try to land near the wall there, and that'll hit this trigger. Just kill everything as fast as possible. Hope that no one survived. That guy survived. Okay. And now ships just spawn from all 4 sides. You just have to kill them quickly. Always equip the corruption disc while walking. Yeah, well there it didn't matter because I was full on energy anyway. Just when you're not full, make sure to have it equipped at all times. And also not in the tank obviously, because that makes you slower, as I mentioned earlier. And that was all of them. And time for another light cycle section. This one can be a little difficult. A few things that you have to look out for I'm gonna point out. Also, if you want, you can kill these enemies. Just spam left click and eventually you'll hit them. Doesn't really matter though. Getting hit by things like the stuff that comes down from the sky doesn't really matter too much. All these explosions, they barely do any damage. Okay, go on the left here, obviously. Just follow the basic path. It's not too hard. Okay, go on the left here and immediately drive off again, because the top part there is slower and also harder. Also, when controlling these, I probably should have mentioned that during the first one, always tap your A and D keys. Like, don't hold them because you're just gonna lose control. Just slightly tap. Also, don't use your mouse. As you can see, I'm doing this one-handed. What the fuck was that? I landed on a lantern there. Never seen that. Alright. These rocks always fall in the same spot, so I don't know. You don't really have to remember where they are. You can kind of react during gameplay. It's not that hard. Just dodge them. Also, something that can happen specifically during this one, the speed in these sections is pretty weirdly handled. You don't really, like, you don't accelerate a lot by holding W. There's mostly, also take this path here, just follow where I go here. There's mostly scripted speed, so at certain positions there's just triggers for you to gain a lot of speed. So what sometimes happens is if you die, you would sometimes like spawn in front of gaps, and there's no scripted speed in front of you, so you won't get enough speed to cross the gap, and you die like 3 or 4 times until it finally works. Yeah, the light cycle sections are pretty basic. Just try not to die. That's about it. Don't jump here, because you'll have to hit the trigger for those guys back there to spawn. If you jump, you will most likely miss it. So throw a bomb to get these. I might die here. No, I'm good. If he wants to target them properly, there we go. And then just heavy disc those back there. I am out of energy. You want to stay near this part of the room though, so I'm just going to run back. So we want to kill all those guys, and then throw a disc onto the right, because that'll activate the button and overwrite the cutscene that is playing, because you have control during that cutscene. Then jump on this door. Don't go like all the way on the left, otherwise you won't grab the top. But go like near here on the door and just run up and you'll grab it. Jump off here. Hit this button. Jump over. Ignore these enemies and hit that button. Now here the enemies can really mess you up if they throw a disc at you in the air, so hope that doesn't happen. Grapple up and hit the last button, which is over there. And now we are approaching the game grid, which is a 3-minute auto-scroller. In just a second. This is just a bit of grappling. You can try to skip one wall run here, but it can be quite tricky. Yeah, like that. If you try that, you still hit the checkpoint though, so you'll respawn over the gap, but don't go for that, that's not really worth it. Just do 2 wall runs here and land here. And go to the other side of this room. And here comes game grid. You just wait for the dialogue and then do the fights. Sadly you can't skip these cutscenes. Just like throw disc at them. I always do heavy disc, it doesn't really matter though. And you can also refill energy on these. And just wait around a bit, do some shenanigans. Pretend you're playing Ocarina of Time by rolling a bunch. Okay, so the first few fights here are just... the first 2 fights are just a single enemy that you can easily kill. Like that. Now there's just 3 more fights. Here's one enemy in the front, one on the right and one on the left. And recharge energy. On the next one there's groups of 2 enemies in all 3 directions. So this is why I use the bomb disc, so I kill both of them at the same time. Dispiriting, but comfort yourselves with this knowledge. Blah blah blah. Okay, so once again, the range of this is not as long, so I have to go a little closer. These guys take 2 hits for some reason. No idea why. And the next fight is a little weird because there's one enemy in the front and one on the right, and that's it. There's no one on the left. But this is just a single enemy again, so just use heavy disc. So there's the one in the front, and there's the one on the right that I killed off screen, but you get the idea. And now here comes the Kernel. Going straight here is kind of weird because of the bad camera angle, which is at like 20 degrees or something. Try not to fall into these holes, these are pretty dangerous. Also, once again, corruption disc, I forgot. Okay, throw a bomb disc at this thing. And now this is a little skip. You can activate this button from far away. What you do is you just kind of line your head up like slightly on the right of this. Around about here. Then you just jump and do a heavy disc special attack. Just like that. And that'll hit the button from this side. And what that'll do is this room will never actually load. As you can see, there's no floor there. So what we do is we just run in, and you may see behind my keyboard layout there in the bottom right a checkpoint reached. As soon as you see that, okay, you can't really see it, it's behind there, you saw the right thing. As soon as you see checkpoint reached in the bottom right, you just hit escape and restart. And then you're back in this room and it'll actually load in. Oh yeah, this is a skip, I should explain. Just ignore this enemy and this corruption. Just run up this thing. And there you go. Run along this. You can ignore these enemies and this corruption, just stand next to the button and activate it. For some reason you can just do that. And this parkouring is not really needed. we can activate the button from here, just jump off and throw a left click at it. Alright, and now here comes the basement fight. One important thing here, you have to differentiate between the yellow guys, which is the normal enemies, and the green guys. Let me show you, these are yellow guys. You can just kill them with whatever disc you want. But on the next wave of enemies, there's going to spawn a green guy. So I'm going to point that out. And those you need to kill with a stasis disc. Someone survived somewhere. There he is. Yeah, the next wave only spawns once you kill all the enemies. So try to get all of them. Okay, the green guys usually spawn out of this hole. So that's one. For those you have to throw a stasis disc at them. I usually just do a stasis disc ground slam. And then throw another disc at them. Always remember that. And always try to refill your energy between these waves, or as often as you can, because you are going to run out. And try to make use of the bomb disc range, or area of attack, I should say. Because what you can do is you can just throw your bomb disc at walls, and if enemies are like behind the wall, they will still get hit. Yeah, so I just like to use bomb disc. So if there are enemies nearby the one I want to hit, then they still all die. Okay, and that's it. Throw a bomb disc at this thing. Also, if you want to do some skip finding, try to find a skip for this room. We have managed to get up here already, but sadly these enemies don't spawn unless you finish the fight down below. And when these enemies don't spawn, you can't open the door. That's a green guy, by the way, so once again throw a stasis disc. And this is some more basic parkouring. Wait a bit here. And just ignore most of the enemies. Let go there with the right click. Don't accidentally like jump off into the void. Alright. Wait for a good cycle here, otherwise you might die. Alright, and here's some more forced fights. I don't really have these optimized, just try to do them fast, I guess. Don't really know where all the enemies spawn. Also, there's only one thing to recharge energy here, so use that every time it's available, basically. Because energy is a limited resource. Because now I'm already out of energy again, and it's refilled, luckily. I think that was it. Oh, there's one more, oops. Then we jump over to the second half of the room and also do that fight. That was quite bad. Can I save this? Apparently not, okay. Just want to run along the thing on the wall there. I don't know how I messed that up. Kinda did a weird jump. So don't do that, just run along this. There you go. And that's a green guy. And most of the enemies will just spawn out there or back from that hole. Or for some reason also they spawn from this corner here. And that's that fight. Don't really have to wait for that platform there. You can still make the jump even if it's not there. Alright, this fight you don't have to do. Just ignore this. Because this corruption isn't really that existent, so you can just run over. And the game never checks if you completed the first fight. Good stuff. Okay, there's two green guys here. I didn't hit this one, sadly. So let me just hit him again. There he is. Come on, energy. And that was that fight. Alright, something that should work here if you have all the upgrades is you should be able to run along this wall if you have the heavy disc equipped, like that, even if the corruption is there. But usually that doesn't work for me. So what I do is I just wait for the cycle here until it's gone. Because most of the time it still kills me for some reason. I would just suggest for you waiting there. You don't really have to wait there, you can still make the jump, regardless of the cycle. Alright, and this room. You have to activate 4 buttons in this room in a specific order. Numbering them like from start room to end, the order is 2, 1, 4, 3. So first of all you hit that one, then you hit this one, then you hit the one over there, and then the one on top there. You can sometimes skip some of the cutscenes for these buttons if you go really fast. Like if I try to hit this one and then before the cutscene plays hit the other one, like that, it might sometimes skip some of the activation cutscenes there. Also ignore all the enemies while you activate the buttons. You only have to kill them at the end. Then with this one, and then the last one up there. Sadly I didn't get to skip any cutscenes, just sometimes randomly happens. And that's all the buttons, and now you kill the enemies. Just be on the lookout for where they spawn. Try not to miss any. And that's that room. I hit the upgrade station. Don't grapple, that was not good. Alright. During this black screen don't hold any buttons, because you can actually move during this black screen but the walls are not there yet, so you might get stuck in the wall. And this you just mostly hold S and jump punch. Try not to mess any of your jump punches up. Like if you mess up your jump input, for example, that's really bad. The camera in this is kind of weird. Actually, you have to hold S to run like towards the camera here. And do this room mostly as intended. Just hit the left button here first. Also there's no use button glitching these. Your position gets reset anyway after this cutscene. So just hit the buttons as fast as possible. Run along here, hit the second button. And then get up. What you can do here in order to skip grabbing that ledge is similar to the thing we did back in the tutorial. You can throw a special disc before you grab the ledge like this, and it'll immediately get you up instead of grabbing the ledge. And then we hit this button. And that was basically the kernel. Kernel can be pretty bad because you kind of have to optimize the fights. That's where you will probably lose most of the time. Alright, these guys are just stunned with stasis discs, because otherwise they throw grenades or snipe you in midair and stuff, so just try to stun them as fast as possible, so they don't bother you. And then just heavy disc them. Oftentimes they will also just fall off, like that guy just did there. Sometimes these guys, when they're black, you can't target them. Did I just say that? No, whatever. So, I don't know, just try to do like aerial moves. And more light cycles. For some reason, by the way, if you have the corruption disc equipped during this, your trail looks way cooler. And it doesn't really affect your speed, I think. Doesn't look like it does, so I like to have corruption disc during this. It doesn't recharge energy though, so just for the optics. And once again, only try to tap A and D. And just don't die, and you're good. Skip this cutscene, and now comes the Gibson fight. This one is fairly basic. Just in the first phase, you just have to hit him 3 times a wall, and there's like 20 seconds between each hit. So just hit him and then recharge your energy. The way you want to hit him is with a ground slam with the heavy attack, heavy disc. So just equip your heavy disc and do Control F. Yeah, that's the ground slam, and that'll do enough damage to progress the fight in 1 hit, just like that. And then you have to wait another like 20-ish seconds, so recharge some energy. I don't know, dodge him, just roll away from him. Do whatever you want. Take a look at your timer so you know when the next hit is. Should be right about now. Yep. Once you hear that sound and he turns a bit green, then you can hit him again. Now for the last hit, you want to have him up on this thing, because that's where he needs to go for the next phase anyway. So just try to get him up here. Did he just fall down? No, he didn't. Okay. There we go. And your positioning doesn't matter. He just needs to be up there, because then he jumps into that little HP thing on the wall. And those need 3 hits to die, so you just jump and do a 3-hit combo, like that. And just follow him around, kill the life things. And from this one onwards, he spawns enemies, and you have to kill those until he progresses the fight. Especially these guys, don't get hit by their like toxic smoke stuff, because that'll actually makes you unable to use your discs. I missed one somewhere. Did I? No, we're good, okay. On this one he spawns green guys, so beware about that. Use your stasis disc once again. He spawns a lot though. There's one more there. There's one more there. I'm out of energy, so I'm just gonna throw normal discs at this guy. And energy is just your main concern during this fight. Always try to refill it. And these guys just spawn all over the place basically. Just run around a bit and try to find all of them. If I did not, there's one more. I want to have some energy though for the next parts. Oh, I didn't hit him. There we go, okay. And once again, just do 2 hits with the heavy disc ground slam, and he's dead. Time save, yay! Yeah, that one is pretty basic. And now the cave. Don't hold anything while the cave loads in, because you will most likely get stuck or fall out of bounds. Let me try to show that. Like if I just like do a bunch of stuff here, Okay, I didn't get stuck there, but oftentimes you just, while this loads in and holds stuff, you just fall down or get stuck. For the cave, just kind of follow what I do. It can be pretty confusing because everything here looks the same. Also, corruption disk, that's important. So we have energy for the parts after this. Ah, that was bad. I want to get over there. You can skip jumping to the left here and immediately jump up. That's a tiny little skip there. Oh, how did I miss that? Alright. So that was the cave. Once again, ignore these enemies. Just kind of jump over. You can land up on top of this. If you land down there, just jump up, obviously. On this wall, run on the right side, because then you can immediately grab this. Otherwise, you'll have to like jump back again and then jump over. Now, this part is full of katana guys that like to snipe you. So just ignore them and activate the buttons, and hope they don't hit you a lot. And then get to the end already. If you want to go really fast, you can vault over this already. Just try to go as far as possible during that little cutscene there, which can be a little tricky with the camera zoomed out like that. Here you can not do that. Oops. There's two enemies upcoming. You can already hit them before they like actually start attacking you. So let me try to do that now. I don't know why I fell down there, that was weird. Might have been holding the wrong keys. There, you can just throw one to the left here and kill one, and kill the second one. Or you can just not do that, jump over and kill them normally. Those are katana guys though, so use your heavy disc. And once again, corruption disc for nice looking trail. I lost some speed there for some reason. This is not good control I'm doing right now. You saw me kind of going all over the place there. Seeing these rocks can be kind of difficult because they have like the same color as the walls and also a similar color to the ground, so just be careful. Watch out not to hit any of them. That was a bad turn there. And that's it for this light cycle section. And now we are basically nearing the end of the game. Starting off with another tank section. For these tanks, don't run straight at them, because when they have targeted you for like a few seconds, they will shoot you. So just kind of try to move sideways towards them, so they don't actually shoot you. Okay, he tried there, but he missed. So kill those 2 tanks with bomb discs again, and get into this one with space. And this section is mostly just sniping these ships out of the air so they don't kill you. Well, the shots don't kill you, but they do a bit of damage. And I guess you want to avoid that. Once again, if they're like off to the side, try to like flick them a bit so we don't change direction. As you can see, if I like slowly go there, my tank will already turn to the right. And that messes up your optimal pathing. Same with everything that you want to hit, basically. Alright, there's 4 buttons upcoming that you have to hit. You can already try hitting 2 before the cutscene. Like round about here, just try shooting at them. Hitting the ones on the side can be a little tricky. Also, don't kill a lot of tanks here. Kill a maximum of 1 tank. I like to kill that one. If you kill more, they will call in reinforcements, and that's a long cutscene. And hit all 4 buttons. Sadly, after this cutscene, your camera will turn 180, so turn it around again. Make sure to not drive in the wrong direction there. And just keep driving. Go on the left here, not the right, left. Try to remember that. That's actually true for most of the game. When in doubt, go left. That's what I always tell myself. Applicable in most parts where you might forget where to go, I think. Yeah, especially in that one. Oh, I missed that. There we go. Nice ass flicks. And then just stop next to these stairs. And we're out. This fight has 2 phases. Sadly, the first one is a combination of shield guys and katana guys. So you're gonna need both bomb disc and heavy disc. And sadly, they really like to stun you. So just try to kill them all and also not go too low in energy. And for these you can mostly just use heavy disc. Or another bomb disc if necessary. And we go into the Abraxas fight. This one is fairly basic. You want to trigger a ground slam from him, so just stand close to him. And then he does his long animation of a ground slam, just dodge that. And then do a ground slam on him with the heavy disc, or 2 or something. Just attack him twice basically, after he does his ground slam, and that'll finish his first phase immediately. And now we have the rocks. You will get hit by rocks here, and the rocks can spawn in 3 places. And these are basically RNG. First of all, I want some energy, and then figure out where the rocks are. You can kind of see where the debris is falling down. Like right here, it's really obvious, rock is coming here, so just lower him under that. And then you can start attacking him with ground slams again, until the rock drops. And now, we can get lucky and the rock spawns in the same place again, then you will get killed by the rock. If not, it's faster to just do some damage by yourself to him. Sadly, you will have to keep regaining energy. If that thing can activate. Yeah, the rock spawns somewhere else, so we'll just kill him like this. And there he goes. And now comes end of the line. The last chapter of the game. With some very nice skips in this. This is one of my favorite chapters. And it's really pretty. Kind of dark green and rain stuff. pretty good. Alright, so here comes a nice little skip. You want to let go of this and hit the checkpoint here, and then get back on. And what you want to do is, this is ship skip skip skip. You see that, well, let me just show you. What you want to do is you want to jump up to the right and then throw a disc. That's the way I like to do it. And you want to land on here. How I do it, I just hold W and D, as you can see, and then just throw my disc. And that usually puts me up here. This is really tiny, so don't move a lot, like if I go off. It's not even that tiny, okay. Just land on here though. And then jump slightly to the left and run up the wall here. Because if you just jump up straight, you won't be able to wall run, so you have to go slightly to the left and then wall run. And I missed, okay. If you run out of energy, just jump down there and kill yourself and you'll respawn with the energy you had at the beginning. If I can get this. Sometimes this doesn't quite work. There we go. Once again, jump to the left and wall run. And then you grab this. And continue. This area has some troubles loading due to that skip. But eventually it'll do. Where's gold? Now this is tutorial %, so we are pretty red. I'm surprised we even saved time in some parts. And vault over this. And now we go into the mothership. Throw a bomb disc here to kill those. Some basic parkouring. Ignore these enemies. Okay, here comes grapple swag skip. There's a fight upcoming which we want to skip. And the way we skip that is, after we grapple that, we're still in the air, near to the fight. So what we'll do is we'll just grapple the enemies around about 4 times. Let me just show it to you first, I guess. Just so you get an idea of what it is. So we grapple this point, and then we hold A and D, W and D, and grapple the enemies here 4 times. That messed up, I got hit by discs. Let's do that again. And after you grapple 4 times, you want to do just want to double click, right click twice in the air. Okay, that still worked, just barely. Let's do that again, because that was not the way it usually looks. Just grapple this when you're around the corner. Grapple the enemies, 1, 2, 3, 4, and double right click. So what that'll do is, in the air you will do one of these punches, and then immediately do a normal air punch by double right clicking. And that'll skip that fight. Once again, I guess. On most of these kind of harder skips, there are also individual videos in the guide section. So for, I don't know, those will probably go into more detail than me. And just skip that fight. And hit this button. No need to button glitch this. You're stuck in position anyways. And what that skip will actually do is, the game still thinks we're in the first fight. So, once again, by the way, katana guys, so use heavy disc. Because the game still thinks we're in the first fight, it'll play cutscenes from the first fight when we progress this fight here and kill enemies. And you button glitch these 2 buttons. Since there's no enemies, you'll have to do a jump button glitch again. So just try to do it. Well, this is not necessary, but it speeds it up because you can already move towards the next button. And in this case, you can also already move towards the elevator. Oop. Now, I like to kill these enemies here by just throwing a bomb disc around me. Because when jumping off this platform, these enemies really like to just kill me in midair. So I just throw a disc at them so they don't bother me while jumping down there. Okay, when you move on top of the conveyor belts, just do a bunch of jump punching. And all these like bomb carrier things that are driving around here, jump over those. Those hurt you quite bad and slow you down. So dodge those. And you jump off here. You can kill these enemies, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes they hit you in midair, sometimes they don't. be close. Yeah. I had some bad wall ones there, where I started my first one very low. Just try to follow the markings most of the time, and your jumps should work out. Get over here. And where you go here doesn't really matter, as long as you reach the end. I like to go on the right, so I don't have any bomb carriers like coming from the front here that I have to jump over. Well, for the first part at least. These you can just jump over by landing on this, just like punch or throw a disc, and you can easily land on these. Just get around those. Get to the right here. And there's invisible walls around this one, so you can't do the same on this. But what you can do is just run along the wall and then throw a disc or punch to land back on here. And this is basically the biggest skip in the game, because now we're out of bounds. Get over this one. Launch all the bomb carriers. And since these spawn out of this wall, that wall is actually not solid. One thing we'll have to look out for though, we want to jump through the wall, but sometimes, as you can see, these spawn kind of in a weird timing sometimes. So we don't want to get hit by them while they spawn. So you can wait for them, like for 2 to spawn, since they always spawn in like packs of 2. And then jump through, or you can try to like jump on the right here so you don't even get hit by them. Okay, that was bad. Not that far on the right, apparently. Sadly, if you mess that up, you spawn quite far back. But I can show that off again. Just try to jump near where they spawn, and if you get hit, well, sucks to be you. Also, hey Tasley, nice name color. And nice bit badge. And once again, you can get around those things either by throwing a disc or by punching. Doesn't really matter, I got hit there. Yeah. Since one of them spawned, I know the second one is gonna spawn, so I just wait for that. And then jump punch down here and land on the ground here, and that should trigger the light cycle section. This one is very basic. Just don't drive into any walls on the first 2 rooms. Now, I guess I can already equip stasis discs, since okay, these things are kind of hard to dodge. Try to dodge these chips, the 2 of those. As you can read on my splits, I just have the discs I need for the final fight. So for the first fight here, which is these guys, you want to stasis disc them very fast, otherwise they will mess you over with their grenades. And then just heavy disc them, like that. That's the first one. Second one, just bomb disc. And they will either die or fall down. There he goes. And that guy fell. Okay, and last one is any kind of slam. I like to do bomb disc slams. Sadly, you will probably run out of energy between these fights. And then kill all the other enemies that are spread across the arena. There we go. That's the first part. And now here comes the actual last Abraxas fight. He activates these 4 generators on each of the edges of the platform. Or on the corners, I should say. What you do is you just hit those with a bomb disc, and then activate the 2 buttons. Now, one skip you can do here, obviously you want to button glitch these. The first one you can always, since there's enemies, always just skip by grappling enemies. That wasn't quite how it's supposed to look, the enemies stopped my animation there. But now, here comes the skip. You can do the skip on the first 2 generators, where you button glitch the second button, and you run next to the edge, which I am going to do right now. So you just want to jump button glitch this, and run next to the edge. Wait for this cutscene, and as soon as the cutscene ends, jump down. You may see in the bottom right checkpoint reached. Actually, not really, because my keyboard layout is over that. And what that'll do by killing yourself is his position will be reset pretty far off to the next generator already, so he doesn't have to walk there. And we do the same thing here. Button glitch this one, and also button glitch the second one. If you want to go safe, you can wait until you can actually see the phrase checkpoint reached in the bottom right. But I kind of know the timing, so... It's only worth doing on the first two, though. From now on, don't do that anymore. It'll lose time, because this position gets reset further back. So, from now on, you just button glitch the first one. And you can hit the second one normally. One thing to be aware of is most of the time when you're activating a button and the enemies hit you so you get out of your animation, the animation will skip but the button doesn't actually activate. So be on the lookout for that. If you like activate a button and then enemies hit you, you will most likely need to activate the button again. You can see that when the orange beam is still coming out of the button even after it should be activated already. That's why I like to hit enemies there, so I can kind of keep them away from me, so they don't take me out of the animation. Yeah, like there. They took me out of the animation. As you can see, the orange light is still up, which was pretty weird. And if that happens, you also can't button glitch it anymore, I think. Let me try. I just button glitch it. Oh, you can, okay. Never mind. So you just have to reactivate it. I'm fairly low on health, so I'm just refill. And now he runs to the middle, which you can't really speed up. Skip this cutscene, and we're about to be done. So there's these enemies spawning all around. You can mostly ignore those. Just position yourself round about where I do. Just like go behind this generator and wait here, and the enemies usually won't hit you. Now, there's these links you see appearing around. Let me just pause here. There's these links, like you see one, there's the second, there's the third. 4 links will appear, and you can look at your timer. After the 4th link appears, you have to wait around 3 seconds, and then you can do the final hit. Final hit being jump and do a special attack with the bomb disc, and that's when timing ends. Don't do too early, otherwise it won't actually end the game. So wait for the 4th link, which is right here, and then wait 3 seconds. There, 19, 20, 21, 22, boom. And that is the run. Yeah. 1:32:22. Yeah. 22 minutes of just being bad and explaining, I can take that, I guess. So I'm gonna try to link all of the stuff that I mentioned in the description. I might cut around a bit, because there were some few mess-ups in between and some like arbitrary stuff. So yeah, that's Tron Evolution though. Good game. For the first run, something around this, like 1:30 should be your time for the first run. Aim for that. And once you get the tricks kinda down and the basic movement and combat, 1:15 is free. Just get that, 2nd place, easy. So whatever, that's the current route. If any updated strats come up, I'll most likely link them in the description. We'll see, or just make a playlist with some of the individual tricks as well. So yeah, this is that. So bye, learn the game. Haha.